The process really starts with photography. All of my work is really heavily dependent on my photography, and I don't do any specialized photography. It's certainly not anything to brag about, but I take hundreds of photos all the time, and then when I go back through the photos, I look for little themes that sort of seem to parallel what I'm thinking about when I'm shooting. And in this particular case, I was really interested in the architectural themes that I was shooting. And I used my background in construction to kind of just very loosely and minimally construct all of these objects in what I thought was the most one-dimensional way possible while still having a three-dimensional piece. This work is sort of inspired by Robert Overby's latex casts that he did in the middle of his career, kind of like the mid part of his career, in which he would paint raw latex on the interior of buildings that were going to be demolished. And I was always kind of really interested in the way that they just seem to sort of, in a very plastic way, take the most minimal part of that building out. I mean, it has nothing to do with the people who live there. It doesn't speak to its history or its integrity as a real place. It is the most superficial aspect of it, and yet they're still very haunting. They're very present, and I thought that really seemed to, when I think of the aesthetic of the 80s, I think of things that were very vapid, yet still very relevant, especially to me having grown up in the 80s.